going to get started today by doing a few breathing exercises. So I'd like everyone to come to stand and then take a big step out with your feet so that your feet are nice and wide apart. And then we'll get going with our Woodchopper breath. So on an inhale, sweep your arms up and over your head, interlace the fingers, and when you breathe out, bend forward and say, ha! Inhale, sweep the arms up over your head, interlace the fingers, and exhale, say, ha! 2 more times. Inhale, sweep your arms up and over your head, interlace the fingers, and then exhale, say, ha! And 1 more time. Inhale, sweep the arms up and over your head, interlace the fingers, and then exhale, bend forward and say, ha! Really nice work. All right, and now everyone let's come to a cross-legged seated position. And we are going to do our candle breath. So you bring your hands together in front of your chest, and then you interlace your fingers, and you point one finger up towards the ceiling, and we pretend that this is like a candle on our birthday cake. So we inhale through our nose, and then we exhale through our mouth as if we're blowing out the candle. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale through the nose, and blow out the birthday candle 2 more times. Inhale through the nose, and blow out the birthday candle. And last time. Inhale through your nose, and exhale. All the candles of the birthday cake are blown out. And now we'll do one final breathing exercise, which is where we pretend we're fogging up a mirror. So bring your hands in front of your face, and you're going to pretend like your hands are the mirror. And so we'll breathe in through our nose, and then we fog up the mirror. Inhale through your nose, and exhale. Fog up that mirror. And 1 more time. Inhale through the nose, and fog up the mirror. Great. Nice work, everybody. Okay, now we're going to begin to get a bit more active. And as some of you might know, we normally start our class with a few sun salutations or sun dances, and we normally sing a poem to help us remember how the sun dance goes. And today we're actually going to learn a new song to do the same thing. So it goes like this. We're going to do it 3 times all together, and I would like you guys to sing with me. So it goes like this. Stretch up high, reach for the sun. Bend down low, tickle your toes. Feet jump back, just like a frog. Belly on the ground, just like a snake. Look at the sun, give it a smile. Now downward dog. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Feet jump up, just like a frog. Hang down low, tickle your toes. Stretch up high, reach for the sun. Hands by your side, look what you've done. And then at the end you have to dance around a little bit. So it goes, sun salutation, dance for the sun. Sun salutation, look what you've done. Okay, 2 more times all together. Stretch up high, reach for the sun. Bend down low, tickle your toes. Feet jump back, just like a frog. Belly on the ground, just like a snake. Look at the sun, give it a smile. Now downward dog. And breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Feet jump up, just like a frog. Hang down low, tickle your toes. Stretch up high, reach for the sun. Hands by your side, look what you've done. Sun salutation, dance for the sun. Sun salutation, look what you've done. Okay, hope you're singing really loudly. Stretch up high, reach for the sun. Bend down low, tickle your toes. Feet jump back, just like a frog. Belly on the ground, just like a snake. Look at the sun, give it a smile. Now downward dog, and breathe, and breathe, and breathe. Feet jump up, just like a frog. Hang down low, tickle your toes. Stretch up high, reach for the sun. Hands by your side, look what you've done. Sun salutation, dance for the sun. Sun salutation, look what you've done. Nice, great work. Okay, so from here, everyone come up to stand again with your toes together, feet and toes together. And we're going to start our standing sequence. So first, let's all look to one side, and then look to the other side. And look up, and look down. We're just giving our neck a nice stretch. And now tap your cheek towards your shoulder. And if you want to take it a little deeper, you can take your hand and just kind of gently pull your cheek towards your shoulder. And then come back to center. And now tap your other cheek to your shoulder. And again, you might want to bring your hand up to kind of draw the cheek closer to the shoulder. And come all the way back up. And now we're going to roll our neck round to one side. And then roll your neck around the other side. And now roll your shoulders back once, twice, and 3 times. And roll your shoulders forward once, twice, and a 3rd time. Really nice. And now we're all going to come down onto our hands and knees into a tabletop position. So remember, in tabletop, we want our back to be nice and flat, so that if I put a plate or some glasses on your back, they would balance very steadily. So we're going to kind of start to warm up the spine. So first, we'll drop our bellies and look forward, and then push the ground away and look towards your belly button. Drop the belly, look forward, and then push the ground away and look towards your belly. And one more time. Drop the belly, look forward, and then push the ground away and look towards your belly button. And then come back to that sort of neutral tabletop where your back is nice and flat. And then step one foot in between your hands. From here, you're going to lift your hands up towards the ceiling, and this is called low lunge. And then you're going to place both hands back down on the mat. You might want to kind of wiggle your front foot forward a little, and then straighten the front leg. So this one's called half splits. And then re-bend the front leg and bring your arms back up towards the ceiling. And then place the hands back down on the ground and straighten your front leg. And we'll do that one more time. Bend into the front knee. Raise your arms up to the ceiling for a low lunge. And then place both hands back down on the mat and straighten the front leg. Really nice. And then bend back into that front leg. So you're back in low lunge, but both hands are on the mat again. And then kick your back foot towards your bum. You can stay here if you'd like, but if you feel pretty balanced, you can take your hand back and take hold of the foot and pull it gently towards your bum. And then slowly release it so it comes back down onto the ground. See how slow you can go. Really nice work. Now we're going to swap feet and place the other foot in between our hands. And we'll do almost the exact same thing on this side. So first, sweep your arms up towards the ceiling, and we're in low lunge all together. And then both hands come down onto the mat, and you straighten the front leg. Rebend into the front leg, arms come up to the ceiling. And then straighten the front leg, hands come down to the mat. And one more time, bend into the front leg, arms up towards the ceiling. And then straighten the front leg, hands on the mat. And now we'll just rebend into that front leg, keeping the hands on the mat this time. And then again, kick that back foot towards your bum. And then take hold of the back foot with your hand and gently pull the foot towards your bum. You should start to feel a nice stretch right about here. And then slowly release the foot, avoiding slingshotting it back. And then come back into your tabletop position. From tabletop, we'll tuck our toes, lift our tailbone up towards the ceiling, and come into our downward dog position. And then from downward dog, we'll step our feet towards our hands, hanging heavy in a ragdoll position. You can take opposite elbows, and then nod your head yes, shake your head no, and then slowly roll yourself up vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way to stand. Great. And once you get to stand, you can take a big step out with your legs and bring your arms out by your sides, coming into star pose. And from star pose, we'll bend forward, hinging from the hips, and then place both hands down on the mat. And then from here, we're going to go for twisted star. So we'll keep one hand on the mat and lift the other arm up to the ceiling. And then swap hands. And we'll do that one more time on each side. So whichever hand is lifted comes back down onto the mat. And you lift the other one up towards the ceiling. And then one more time, you swap hands. Great. And then both hands come on your hips, and you come all the way back up. And then point your toes a little bit outward, and your heels a little bit inward. And then bend your knees, coming down into goddess pose. So hands come together in front of the chest, and we're in goddess pose. And we'll take a deep breath in and straighten the legs and lift the hands up over your head. And then take a deep breath out. Bend the knees, hands come by your side. Hands come in front of the chest. 2 more times. Deep breath in, straighten the legs, arms up and over your head. And then take a breath out. Bend the knees, hands in front of the chest. 1 more time. Deep breath in, arms up and over the head. And deep breath out. Hands come by the chest. Really good work. And now straighten the legs for a second. Give yourself a little bit of a moment. And then bring your hands kind of behind your back, opening up the shoulders a bit. And then bend into one knee. And then bend into the other knee. And we'll do that again on each side. Bending into one knee. And then bending into the other knee. And then come back to the center, place the hands down on the mat, look forward, and then come all the way back up, back into your star. Hands come to your waist, stuff your feet together, and hands by your side. Nicely done. All right, now we're going to go through a series of sitting down poses so we can start to cool ourselves down. So to start, everyone place one knee in kind of the center of your mat or whatever you're practicing on, and then stack your other knee on top of it. So you should start to feel a nice stretch here, But if you want to make that stretch even stronger, you can start to walk your hands out in front of you, or stay exactly where you are. And then you're going to walk your hands back up, and we're going to swap feet. So place the knee that's on top right now on the bottom, and then stack your other knee on top of it. Great. And then again, you should start to feel a stretch here. But if you'd like to make the stretch even stronger, you can walk your hands out in front of you and let your head hang heavy. And then walk your hands back up and come back to a cross-legged seated position. And then from here, you're going to take one foot, one leg, and you're going to place the foot in the elbow crease of your hand. And then you're going to take your other hand and place the knee in your elbow crease. So you're going to begin to sort of cradle your foot, cradle your knee like it's a baby. And you're going to rock the baby from side to side. And then we'll swap legs. So again, we pick up the leg and we put the foot inside the elbow crease, and then we put the knee inside the other elbow crease. And then we rock them from side to side. And then release the leg. And place both hands on the mat or on the ground. And then lift one arm up and over your head and stretch. And place that hand back down. And lift the other hand up and over your head and stretch. And one more time on each side. Hand comes up over your head. And then the other hand comes up and over your head. Great. And then come back to your cross-legged seated position. Now I need everyone to place their right hand on their left knee, and then place their left hand behind their back. You take a deep breath in, lift up tall, and then on your breath out, twist to the left-hand side. And then come back to center, and place your left hand on your right knee, and your right hand at the base of your spine. Take a deep breath in, sit up nice and tall, and then take a deep breath out and twist to the right-hand side. Great work. And come all the way back to center. Now we're going to come back into that tabletop position we did a bit earlier. So from tabletop, we're going to spread our knees out just a little bit wider. And then we're going to come into frog pose, where we lower down and then let your head hang heavy. And then push yourself back up and come back into your tabletop position. And now we're going to take a pose called puppy pose. So in puppy pose, we just walk our hands out just a little bit further. And then we let our chest melt down towards the mat. And you can place your forehead on the mat if it comes down far enough. And the idea is that we open up the shoulders and open up the chest. And now walk your hands back up, back into your tabletop position. And now we're going to take another version of frog pose, which is the pose that Rakaya made up last time we did a video. So in frog pose, you put both legs down on the mat, both feet down on the mat, into a bit of a squat. You can bring your hands together like this in front of your chest. And we're in frog pose, so thank you to Rakaya for suggesting that one. And now from here, we'll come to sit on our bums again. And then we'll make our way all the way down onto our tummies. So once we're on our tummies, we're going to place both hands on the mat and push ourselves up onto our forearms for Sphinx Pose. And now in Sphinx Pose this time, we're going to do a little bit of a variation. So place one hand on your thigh and then look over your shoulder. And then place that hand back down on the mat and place your other hand on your thigh and look over that shoulder. And come back onto the mat. Now lower your chest back down onto the mat. Bring your hands out by your sides. And now bring your toes together, point the toes, and you're going to use the strength of your back to lift your chest up off the mat. And your hands and your arms can follow. And then your feet and your legs can follow as well. You want to look straight ahead, but also down. And then release back down onto the mat. Really nice work. And now kick your feet towards your bum. Take hold of the outside of your feet. And then you're going to use the strength of your kick to lift your chest off of your mat. So everyone get ready to kick. And we'll stay up here for 3, for 2, for 1, and release all the way back down. And now let's all come onto our backs. So you can just roll around and come all the way down into your back. And then place the soles of both feet onto the mat so that your knees point up towards the ceiling, hands by your side. And now lift your hips up towards the ceiling for bridge pose. You can tuck under your shoulders and take hold of your hands underneath your bum. And you want to push down through your feet up towards the ceiling and then release all the way down. Great job. And now extend both legs out. And then hug one knee in towards your chest. And release it out long. And then hug the other knee in towards your chest. And release it out long. And now hug both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And say well done for all the work you've put into your practice today. And then take hold of the outsides of your feet. And lift your feet up towards the ceiling for happy baby. You can roll around a little bit to the right, to the left, and just take a couple seconds to massage your spine while you roll around. And then let go of your legs. And we're going to all do Candlestick Pose, which Mariam suggested. And you're going to point the toes, lift the toes up towards the ceiling. Imagine someone's doing candle breath and they're trying to blow out your candlestick. And then you're going to bring the knees in towards the chest and roll yourself back down. Nice work. Then arms come out like a T. Let your knees flop over to one side and bring your gaze to the other side. Look over the opposite shoulder. And then bring your knees back to the center. And let your knees flop over to the other side. And look over the opposite shoulder. And then bring your knees back to center. And now you're going to extend your legs out long and your palms point up. So before we take our final relaxation, we're going to quickly do something called a scrunched relaxation. So it starts like this. You're going to scrunch your toes together tight as you can and then release them. And now you're going to tense your legs. Put all the tenseness you can into them, scrunch them up tight, and release them. And then you're going to scrunch your stomach up as tight as you can, and release. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch those fingers, and release them. And then scrunch your shoulders, scrunch your arms, scrunch everything up, and release. And then tense up those shoulders and the neck as best you can, and release. And then last one, scrunch up your face and release. And now we're going to listen to our Shavasana song. So we're going to stay absolutely